you can see how this creates that lag into the ball. Both arms straight out here versus that one. Hey golfers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss something called swing shape. Okay, so if you are a golfer who gets narrow in the backswing, maybe early release or casts in the downswing, scooping, maybe even some early extension, and the big one, kind of chicken winging on the way through your elbows separating apart. This drill is really kind of easy to do once you get it, and I think it'll really help you out. So stick around to the end of this video, find out what that drill is and how you can apply it to your own game. So before we get started, if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get going. So the reason for making this video today was because in a previous video where I was fixing the backswing for some golfers, kind of keeping some width up there, I discussed something called wide, narrow, wide, and got a couple of comments. What do you mean by that? And so I'm going to make a video on it because it's very, very good. Okay, so think of the end of the club head, or you can think of hands. Okay, so club head or hands or both. When we see a lot of golfers, what do most golfers do, right? If we're going to make this club go back, narrow meaning hands and club would be quite close to the body, and then in the downswing they would get wide away from our body. There's that early release this way, starting to get scooping where the hands don't arrive to the ball soon enough. Club gets there first, and then because we're working this way, right hand working under, we're still very narrow here. So typically golfers are going to go narrow, wide, narrow. Okay, so you can let me know if that's you in the comments. It's definitely something I see a lot of, and what we want to discuss is how we can reverse that and actually go wide, narrow, wide. So let's take a look at that. So we've discussed the most common swing shape that I see, the narrow, wide, narrow. We'll take away top of the backswing and through swing. We want to talk about the wide, narrow, wide concept here. Okay, so if you can imagine in our setup position, remember we talked, you can think of hands or club. Personally, I like to think of my hands and the club a little bit, but mostly hands. When I go for my takeaway, I'm trying to feel this as wide as possible. So in theory, the hands are pushing as far away from me as I can get them this way. So it's a nice wide takeaway. You're going to see someone like Rory McIlroy really have that. Well, a lot of them are going to have it, right? So that's the kind of wide portion in the takeaway. Now, as I get to the top of the swing, I still want to keep those hands as wide as I can, as far away from my body. And this will take care of the wide portion in the backswing, whereas most golfers are going to go quite narrow. This grip doesn't get far enough away from their body. So we got the wide backswing. Then we want to reverse that into a narrow, thinking hands and club head, closer to us. So narrow in the downswing. All right, now look at the position that this gives us. This gives us really good lag. In here, nice angle. I did a video on this, but really nice angle to be able to release onto the ball and get both arms straight through here. So wide, narrow, whereas you're going to see most narrow, wide downswings losing the wrist angles and coming into the ball this way, not creating any lag. Okay, so there's lots of benefits from this drill. So we're going wide, narrow. Now here's the cool part. As we go to strike the ball, we want to get to this point in the follow through where both arms are straight, really wide. Hand, club, away. See that? So here, wide, narrow, wide. Really good swing shape. And again, a swing shape you're going to see a lot of the golfers on TV having. Okay, now once you kind of rehearse the feeling of doing that a few times, just starting it in pieces, kind of 1 wide, 2 wide, 3 narrow, 4 wide out here. Get the feeling. Don't hit balls yet. Just feel that. Start to do it slow. We'll go wide, narrow, wide. And as I kind of run this a few times, wide, you can see how this creates that lag into the ball. Both arms straight out here versus that one, okay, which is the inefficient one. Once you feel it, get loose with it as well. You know, don't be too rigid, just kind of going wide here, narrow. Kind of, it needs to be a flow, working wide, narrow, wide on the way through. Once you feel confident, and you can see that happening, I'm going to try and hit a couple of shots. Obviously, the lag shot makes this a little bit easier. And I'll try and hit one. Typically, don't hit this thing very well. Sometimes I do. It's quite tricky to hit if you get too snappy with your transition. So I'm going to try and work on that as I do this so I don't make a fool of myself and hit that wall. So we're going to go rehearse, wide, narrow, wide on there on the way through. You'll be fed up hearing me say that. That's a good way to swing. So wide. Yeah, not too bad. So that feeling, guys, will really help you change your swing shape. And as I mentioned, it'll fix a lot of other issues in your swing, whether it is early release or no connection or narrow top backswing or bending the arms or coming into the downswing, scooping, chicken wing here. It can really be sorted with this feeling. Okay, guys? So let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'm more than happy to help. And I love the comments coming in because I can help you guys, which is great. And any questions you might have, fire them in. And before we go, if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video.